Let me close it from here. Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another live broadcast. Welcome to the Business Shower. This is the 7th episode of my show, and I'm very glad to have you with me this morning. I know it's a little bit early for the Business Shower today, but I believe that we are more active in the morning than at any other time. So today, as I have been receiving a lot of requests from a lot of entrepreneurs because they've been expressing their concerns about business investments. They've been asking me which are the best ways to engage with investors, how to find them, how to create pitches. So I considered that too many requests means this is in demand and I need to do something about it. So today I have invited my dear friend Matteo Boffa with me. He is an investor, first of all. This is how I see him as a prime point of engagement here. So what Matteo does is there is a list of things that he does. He's a fabulous entrepreneur, a business investor. He is the president of Swiss Business Council in Abu Dhabi, and he is also a member at the environmental committee in the UAE. So he runs multiple streams, and we will talk about all those different streams that a passionate entrepreneur can step into and succeed in during his or her journey. Welcome to the show, Matteo, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and good morning, everyone.
We are very glad to have you with us. And the first thing I want you to do is tell us more about yourself, because I made it brief, but I want you to tell us your story from your own perspective.
Yeah, thank you so much. So it's kind of a strange story, if I have to be honest. I started a very early stage to work in a Swiss bank when I was in Switzerland, of course. We have this system in multiple countries in Europe where you start very young to work. So I started at 15 years old, and I had the bank academy that it means half work, half study. I worked for the same bank for 10 years. I joined the army, that is mandatory in Switzerland, but I graduated in the army as well. And this was a big step in the future direction that I took, because it explained me how to follow discipline and how to follow rules and how to follow orders. So this was my first step into the business world as an employee. And after these 10 years in the bank, 2 years in the army, I did my master's degree in marketing. It was a night school and weekend school, so quite intense. And after I decided to change my life, I was in a very comfortable situation of having a good salary, a good position, future opportunity to grow in the company. My family, they are bankers since almost 100 years in Switzerland. So that was my destiny, and I decided to be the black sheep of the family and start my own business. I arrived here in the UAE almost 5 years ago. I started my first business that was taking billboards, so the advertising in plastic, and transform them into object product like backpacks, school bags, sport bags, etc. This gave me the opportunity to engage with multiple people and organizations that are willing to save our planet or make it a bit more greener in the UAE. And from one business, I was able to create multiple different business with the same goal, so social and environmental goals. At the moment, I'm part of different companies. As you rightly mentioned, I'm an investor for startups and small, medium company. At the moment, we are very ready to launch a very good brand of shoes, sustainable and vegan shoes made out of plastic bags and plastic bottles. This was an idea. This is the idea of a very young entrepreneur, Ashai Bahev, that I met through a startup competition at Amity University. So he presented his concept. I loved it from the first moment, and now the same day we shake hands, and 1 year later we are almost ready to launch in the market. And this is as an example.
Yeah. So when I met you last time, Matteo, the brand Thaely was still in conception, and you were introducing it to different investors. I remember this was during one of the big events in the beginning of this year. So how far have you guys come? Did COVID-19 impact Thaely or any of your enterprises? How did you manage to wade through the time?
Yeah, in terms of COVID, I was able to diversify my portfolio of company, so that helps a lot. Some of them got frozen because of the situation. Like in the case of the shoes, we had to postpone the launch for 6 months because the factory was not operating and the source of material was difficult. Some of the company were involved got frozen or stopped. Some of them were doing very well. So it's a good balance, and it's a good idea as well for an investor to diversify the portfolio.
Yeah. Okay. So you believe that diversifying portfolio is a good way of surviving any kind of times.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So coming to your recent achievement, you got featured in Forbes 30 under 30, the top personalities in the UAE. Congratulations for that, and we are very happy. So
Thank you
tell
so
us
much.
about your achievements. Like, how do you feel about your own passion, about the things that you do, about the things that you are collecting in your bag with every passing day in terms of achievements? How do you feel about it? And how do you plan ahead?
Yeah, for me, it's very important. It's probably very easy to say, but I consider myself as a not worker because I don't consider what I'm doing working. I enjoy every single second of my day. I wake up very early in the morning and I go to sleep very late, but I enjoy every single second and minute of my day, of my journey. This drove me to have passion of what I'm doing and trying to solve problems and try to be creative in many ways as possible. In terms of the achievement of Forbes, I didn't really expect it. They elected me on January, and after the time passed, I completely forgot about it. And a few weeks ago, they called me and they said, you've been awarded, and this was a very, very good achievement. But it's important doing something out of it. So an article on a newspaper, it's nice. It's a good proud for myself. I'm very happy. But I want to engage more people and help more people and help the environment and also help people that are less advantaged, because I think that I'm very lucky to be where I am. So yeah, it was a very, very good thing, but I want to make it the best out of it. So create more opportunity for everybody.
Yes, definitely. I want to know, how did you develop your passion, your vision towards sustainable development in the UAE? And I also want to know how many different steps you have taken during this year towards sustainable development and how effective they have been, and how we as a community can contribute with you and sustain the same cause side by side.
Yeah. So, it's important to think that sustainability can be something profitable, first of all. We don't have to think of people that recycle or clean the beaches or clean the ocean or do something good. It's just for fun or for glory. It's something where you can actually make money out of it. And in terms of the UAE, I saw a big gap in different industry. Where I was able to use my expertise and my contacts to make something good and also make money out of it, because at the end of the day we have to think to put a roof on top of our head and put food on our plates. So that's the thing. In terms of the achievement, we are saving thousands of square meters of plastic that is destined to be destroyed or being put it under our feet, under the sand. For the advertising. Recently, a very good friend of mine launched a new mobile application that can help people to get awarded with points and afterwards with cash to their behavior. So if you put the plastic bottle in the right place, you will get awarded points. So that's something else. And we did a very good job in terms of not ending up plastic bottle in the nature, but in the right spot. With the shoes as well, yeah, please.
Excuse me. What is the name of the application?
It's called a Zeloop.
Zeloop.
Zeloop. I will send you the link afterwards.
Sure. Because we would want to subscribe.
Yeah, for sure. The more, the better.
Of course. Yeah. All right. So How
Yeah,
does it? How can we redeem the rewards on the application?
there are eco-mission and eco-rewards. Now we are working on sustainable product, of course, and we are creating an eco-token that will be as well created for afterwards change it into cash or prices.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
And yeah, as well, the plastic bags and the plastic bottle recovered here, they're going to be transformed into shoes. And
Yeah, that's for Thaely.
this is Thaely, yeah, correct.
This is Thaely. Yeah. So the factory for Thaely is in India.
Yeah. So how it works, we recruit homeless people, people without a job. We pay them, of course, a right amount of money to collect plastic from the environment. We
Okay.
transform these plastic bags into a fiber, specific fiber that is under patenting. And the idea is to create everything in the same country. So we don't want to ship left or right any component of the shoes. Everything is completely vegan. The glue, it's vegan glue. The ink is not using animal ink. Everything from it's 100% vegan, and we are getting a very good traction. This young entrepreneur is a very smart guy. I like him very much. He's very determined. Through my contact, we were able to create an evaluation of more than $1 million of this company after only 1 year. And December is going to be the big launch.
Yeah, inshallah. How can we as a community support Heli or Zeloop? What
Of
could be
course,
our contribution?
yeah, of course, following us on the social media and be ready to buy the shoes, of course. The price-wise, we decided to keep it under $100. So affordable also for students and for people. We reduce our margin, but as I said, for us, it's not the profit the main goal. It's to make a product that is different for the market and from the market. And as well, the production is made with audit constantly. The factory is one of the biggest factory that produce for major brands. Everybody is paid the right way. There is no kids involved. The water consumption, electricity consumption at the factory, it's controlled. So it's not just the product itself, it has to be a 360-degree concept for social and for the environment.
For the environment. So the actual product will come in the market in December. We are
Correct.
expecting in December. And
Yes.
it will be distributed in the UAE and how many different countries?
So we already got few hundreds pre-reservation. It's going to be worldwide. We will ship it from India, as again, to not have stock around and to have the less footprint impact possible. And yeah, we have order already from almost all around the world.
Okay, excellent, which is good for the brand, of course. All right, coming towards the business investment part, the part where I've been getting a lot of interest from many different people through my LinkedIn, and I've been requested to help them.
Yes.
How do you personally choose the right investment opportunity as an investor, Matteo?
Yeah, I have to say I had a lot of unsuccessful story. I have to be honest. I lost quite a big amount of money because I didn't choose in the past the right startups or the right investment. Of course, I was not experienced, and you have to fail before achieving good result. Now, what I put myself in mind before deciding is the gut feeling. So with Asha is a clear example of loving the idea, but loving before the idea, loving the person behind. In the past, as I said, I had startups with incredible idea, financed very well, good structure, but the people inside were not good. So everything got not in the right way. Other time, we failed because it was not the right moment, but was the right product. So it's very a balance of everything. It's a pyramid where on top of the pyramid, I put the people behind the idea. And of course, after you have to think the financial part, the innovation part, the structure, and the luck the place where you are. So it's a combination of different pillars that build a house that can be a palace one day.
Okay, I got the point. What are the things apart from the business idea and the person that an investor needs to keep in mind?
Of course, I evaluate a company that have at least a good business plan, a good financial plan, and a good marketing plan. These are the three elements that I evaluate before putting the money on the table. We have sometimes people with great idea, but they don't know what is the market size, where to launch it, and if there is somebody else that is doing. So if as an entrepreneur you have an idea, you have to dig down and find if somebody else already did it, and how it works, or why they fail, or why they succeed. A lot of time we think to create the best project in the world, and if we just make pure research, we realize that it's not doable. So this doesn't have to stop the idea, but has to implement it. And sometimes people don't really realize that. The passion has to be the first thing. It's difficult for entrepreneur not seeing a salary. Most of the entrepreneur that I know are young people, so without a fixed salary in the past. But some of them are people that was used to be employee, and they decided to start a company, a startup. And of course, it's difficult to jump from having a salary at the end of the month to fight and not having salary for 6 months maybe, or 1 year. So this is it. Psychologically, it's frustrating. Most of the startups fail because of lack of passion or determination, and this is where I help my entrepreneur to succeed, to never give up, and to evolve.
Yeah, you said that there has to be a right time. You have to check the timing, whether it's the right time to invest and launch a startup. So, what do you have to suggest about timing, and how do we understand that this is the right time?
The time is determined by the market. So if you have an idea that you think that can solve a problem, that's the first point. Any new company or idea has to make profit, of course, but also solve an existing problem in an existing place. It's the most difficult part. And sometimes you have ideas and you create something that during the elaboration of the company change completely the direction, because you adapt based on the timing and on the location where you are.
And also from the market response, like you said, we have to look at the market. So sometimes businesses have to change and modify their models because they are adjusting in the market according
Correct.
to consumer norms.
Yep.
So every idea, I agree with you, not every idea is going to resonate with the market. Not every idea is going to spark curiosity and interest from the consumer. So it has to be taken care of during its journey of evolution.
Correct.
So what are some great tips that you can share with businesses and people who have startup ideas and are looking for investment funding? Tips related to investment funding.
Yes. So I'm personally not a big fan of incubator centers. I think in the region there are a few that are very good and few that are not extremely good. We have to think as well that the UAE, it's a good place where to start a company, but it's a very expensive place in terms of licensing, offices, visa, etc. So before even starting developing a product or a project, you end up spending a lot of money. That's the thing. The life in Dubai is expensive. If we think European country where you don't need a very early stage license to start, or a visa, or did make a big difference. In terms of tips, I always suggest people to go through the first stage, so friends and family, people that believes in your idea, that can help you, and then can put some small money on the table to make the proof of concept. It's very dangerous for new startups going into the market without a clear business plan or strategy. and getting money from investor that at certain stage they would come back and ask, okay, so what's my return, or what you are going to do to increase this amount of money, and how long is going to take. So before proving the concept, you need some money that can be given by friend and family or small angel investor. This is my role. I love to enter in an early stage in the company where there is something clear. Of course, this give me the chance to have more shares in the company, because it's more dangerous to invest in something that is not proven yet, and after scale it. Going to a process of asking money to your family and friends, it can be difficult, because you don't want to fail, you don't want to make you don't to shame yourself, but it's better to do it with somebody that you know and understand completely what you're going through, rather than an external person.
Yeah, yes, true. I agree with you. How can we win the trust of investors? I know it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. As I said, for my thing is the personal touch, the personality of the entrepreneur. The trust is built by the time, so, and by the passion somebody put on the plate. Trust cannot be given from the first day. Has to be built, and has to be continuously given to the investor. In terms of communication, this is the most important thing. In certain cases, I have startups where I have to really call them and ask them what they are doing, even if they're doing good. For me, it's important to have a straight communication. Send me a WhatsApp, an email, or whatever, or just have a quick call telling me, okay, this is what we were supposed to do. This is what's the stage. This is what's the future. The engagement for an investor is very important. Sometimes you have investors that want you just to stay silent, just put the money on the table and let it go. If it goes well, good. If it doesn't go, doesn't matter. I love to be engaged. I love to be engaged in the company from the beginning, and be part of the management, and take the decision. That's my preference.
True. Even if I'm investing in a business idea, I'd like to be on the management to check how it is going and whether enough effort is being made towards its development and growth. You're absolutely right in that. A large number of small business entrepreneurs struggle during their first year. And this is the time when they can actually opt for fundraising and go for finding investors. How do you think we can contact an investor? What are the best ways to contact an investor?
There are very good platforms like Kickstarter that can help. That's an option eventually. It's everything. It's built on connection. So if you have an idea, great idea, you don't have to spend all your day under a computer developing the idea. You have to go out, networking events, meeting, go out, test the reaction of the people, asking what they think, testing your idea in any possible way. And this is the exhausting part. And some people are very good under a computer, putting the numbers, a very incredible business plan, but they never went out and asking to the people what they think about it. And that's a big problem. So, of course, networking, I'm a big fan. I spend 5 nights a week going out and talking to people. That's what I love to do. And from a connection come another connection, and the connection maybe is not going to put the money on the table, but know somebody that is interested in this specific field or in this specific area. So going out and finding personal investor is the best way.
Yes, I agree with this. Somebody has asked us, where do you see sales trending in the next 12 to 24 months in startups?
What do you mean? Sorry, again? I
Saying,
didn't hear it.
where do you see sales trending in next 12 to 24 months in business?
In general, in which industry? It's a very open question.
Open-ended question, yes, yes. He hasn't specified any industry at all.
It's really depending the industry.
Yeah, it really depends on
If it's
industry.
real estate, if it's physical products.
The buying trends are different now. They were not the way they were before COVID. Now people are thinking about what they're buying.
Yeah, if you want to put it in this way, we can use the example of the e-commerce that it's completely booming. People due to the COVID were staying home and spending money and ordering from the grocery to the shoes to any to the pharmacy. Any product was ordered door to door, and this is the trend that is increasing, and it will continually increase. Um, we have as well company that are restructuring because they are realizing that having a physical office is not a need anymore. So company will be probably more effective in investing the money into digitalization and into the product itself, rather to investing in having a fancy office with fancy furniture. So the world is changing, is adapting. There are a few negative things about it, but we have always to realize the positive thing. So I used to do business from home most of the time, and now I'm continuing doing it, and there is no problem on that.
You have like 4 to 5 companies working at the same time, Matteo. How do you manage and balance your time between all those different engagements?
Yeah, it's not very easy, I have to say, but it's fascinating. So jumping from thinking about how to implement the app to checking the fabric to shoes, it's fascinating. It's keep my brain going and connecting also the opportunity and the marketing strategy. It's not easy. It's challenging, but it's very rewarding. And as I said, I wake up very early in the morning and I go to sleep quite late. But it's not something that I am stressed about. It's very good.
It's your lifestyle, I guess. Just as
Yeah,
I've built mine over that, like running 3 to 4 things at a time is not an
yeah,
issue. It
yeah.
becomes a life.
And if you build the right team behind each company, you don't really need to be stressed about it, because you give trust to the right people to do the right thing. So most of the time it's taking decision. It's we go left, we go right. It's not very the operational side that concerns me.
Yeah. I have a very quick, short question for you. Who's an effective leader? What are the different traits that he should have?
I cannot really define myself a leader. I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning, and I'm trying to adapt to what is around me and the other people around me. A leader is somebody probably that push you in the right direction. And if we think about a boat, is not the captain standing on top of the boat indicating you the road, is the one that with you make the boat moving all together. A leader is
Yeah.
somebody that is part of a project and make his hand dirty. I'm not the typical guy that stays behind the computer giving
Yeah.
orders. I'm the one putting the gloves on and going to clean the beach Friday morning. So it's the person that makes his hand dirty and is part of a team without pretending to do I don't know, not nothing, but just indicating the road, is participating in the team.
Did you manage to build a community while you were working on all these awesome things related to environment, related to business?
Yeah, especially in the UAE, it's a field where it's not too many people that are doing this. So at the end of the day, we know each other very well. We give us suggestion. We have a very good group on WhatsApp with more than 60 people, very high level people in the field of sustainability, and we communicate daily about news, about what we can do, and we meet sometimes. So it's a very big city, I have to say, or Dubai or the UAE. It's a kind of a large country, but at the end of the day, in terms of sustainability, we know each other pretty well.
Yes, I know. It's easy to connect here and stay connected for a longer period of time over a mission.
Yeah.
How do you see the future of sustainability in the UAE?
I think it's growing. I think it will grow. Expo is going to be a good test to show people around the world how things work here. The UAE have a very big responsibility in terms of that, to show what is really done. There are opportunities. There are new companies coming in. it's a very good place to be and to start a sustainability project here. The government is helping as well, so there is a good future.
There is a good future. Yes, there is enough support. There is enough interest from the people as well. And yes, the government is supportive always. It's true. Absolutely
Yeah.
true. Thank you so much for your time today, Matthew. I'm very glad to have you. It was an amazing conversation and very useful for everybody.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I hope I was able to give some inspiration or to help people. And of course, if somebody asks you, you can share my personal contact, and I will be more than happy to help. If we can make a small step in the right direction every day, it's a great success.
Yes, definitely. It is a great success. And I will share Matteo's contact with whosoever is having a great idea and wants to build it into a smart business that can help and add value to other people's lives. We wish you all the best, Matteo. Thank you so much for being with me today. Will not take any more of your time. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye bye.